So here we are, it's gone wrong already. This is the SCRY set, and what you do is you cover your card with wax and then very lightly dribble the wax off the back of the iron. So the back edge of the iron doesn't actually touch. If you see, you'll see that I'm actually not touching. Can you see it's floating? And that way you get these wonderful delicate effects that you can't get in any other way. If you keep the iron flat down, it just wipe it all off. So it's very, very light. And now I'm making use of that because scrying is actually about discovering, it's about seeing, it's about sort of divining almost as you go through the process. And it's really a lot of fun to do because you never quite know what's going to come up. These colours are a little bit like the underworld. Some people say that they're quite spiritual colours. Some people say they're quite magical colours. But they define that sort of inner space. And here all I'm doing really is working into all that information that the iron has naturally given to me. One of the things to look for when you're scrying is good light. Because when you've got light in your image, in the waxen effects, then you can utilise that and the eye will naturally go to that. So it's easy to sort of involve people and get people deep into your pictures if they've got good light in them. And the border sort of adds to that. I've cleaned stuff away so that I can put fresh colour on and perk up places where it's got a bit murky perhaps. And then the grasses, well, when you overlap anything in the foreground, it makes better dimension. It pushes the other part into the further background. And of course, to help enhance the perspective again, we can use the pathways. The birds, they add life to the image. I know it's a bit twee. Some people say, oh, birds and everything. But they do give that sense that the thing's alive. And remember, you can always add new colour. You're not limited, so you can put fresh colour onto the iron and you can just dab that in gently. Shake it like this to cool it down because sometimes it can still be warm. You don't want to smudge it, and then polish it. And then we've got our first scry, the underworld. And we move into that space, that lovely warm violet light and that fantastic green forest. Look at the light in those trees. It's in the mind, but it's wonderful. So, blue-green to start off, and let's go into another scry. That's it, that's the one I'm going to use. See that light, it just opens up the darkness. Out of the darkness came forth the light, and you can see why that's such a powerful idea. I've speeded this up obviously because I'm just using the scribing tool and it'd be a bit tedious if you watch me do the whole thing. But you can see the build up here, back in real speed again now, and just gently working, scratching away, remembering to clean the wax little pieces that break off, the little fragments, flakes. Either use your fingers or a tissue like that. And then again, speeding this up a bit so that it doesn't take too long. And just gently developing a castle on top of that iron-created natural outcrop of light. The scribing tool is just scratching through to the white of the card underneath. Now, in order to create a light-filled image, I'm using the iron to remove some of that wax. I'm just wiping it onto the backing paper actually. But you can see how it already lifts the amount of light, the illumination of the picture. And that one dab seemed to be enough. But the sky area, the top area, was still rather dark. So I just ran the edge of the iron through like this. Gave it a polish, had a look and thought, yeah, I need to put in some stars. And so just by dotting the scriber carefully but fairly randomly and knocking it quite hard into the wax, it creates these little holes. And then of course, time for my little path. Birds and a path seem to be sort of fundamental to these little images. Sometimes with the path, if you allow it to become hidden so it goes out of sight somewhere and then pick it up again, it can be more interesting. And I've gone a bit wonky. Really, it should be parallel to the bottom of the card, but I went a bit skew-if this time. Never mind. Well, out of the 10 cards, one of them didn't work very well, and that's the one that's coming up. So I've speeded it up and found an old bit of music to blob on top of it. Hope you like it. So scrying is to see, but do we see? That's the question. Anyway, what we've seen so far in this little series of fantasy castle cards was the first set, which was using the straight iron edge. And then we went on from that to look at a couple of nice bright images, 5 birds, 3 castles, using the iron stylus and scriber. And after that, well, that's what we've been looking at today, scry or descry, to see, to discover. So what's left then? Yeah, my favourite of the 10 cards that I did. This was the last one, an A5, and it really was a gift. Do come back and watch it next time. Thanks for watching this time. I'm Michael Bossum. Be well, stay well, dream well. Goodbye.